Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be breaking down powerful interview tips for remote job applications. What recruiters are really looking for, the common mistakes that cost candidates opportunities, and how to position yourself confidently to stand out and land the job. If you are coming across my video for the first time, do well to subscribe and click on the notification icon so that you will be notified whenever I share a new video. In this channel, I release regular updates and tips on how to make money online and become more effective on online platforms. Now, let's get into the topic in more detail. Before we talk about specific strategies, it is important to understand why remote interviews are not the same as traditional face-to-face interviews. The world of work has undergone a major transformation over the past decade, and remote employment has shifted from being a rare privilege to becoming a mainstream reality. Companies across industries now hire talent from different countries and time zones using digital platforms such as LinkedIn, Indeed, and Upwork. This global accessibility has created incredible opportunities for professionals who want flexibility, independence, and the ability to earn income from anywhere in the world. However, with increased opportunity comes increased competition. When you apply for a remote role, you are not simply competing with candidates in your city or region. You are often competing with highly skilled professionals from across the globe. This reality means that your preparation, presentation, and performance during the interview must be intentional and strategic. Remote interviews are fundamentally different from traditional in-person interviews because the employer cannot rely on physical presence to assess professionalism, confidence, or engagement. Instead, they evaluate how effectively you communicate through a screen, how comfortable you are with digital tools, how clearly you express your thoughts, and how convincingly you demonstrate independence. Employers are not only assessing whether you can perform the tasks required for the role, they are also determining whether you can perform those tasks without direct supervision in an environment where accountability and communication must be self-driven. Many candidates underestimate the importance of this distinction. They prepare for a remote interview in the same way they would prepare for a physical interview without recognizing that remote work requires additional qualities such as time management, proactive communication, technical readiness, and self-discipline. In today's video, I will explain in detail how you can position yourself as the ideal remote candidate by preparing strategically, presenting yourself professionally, and answering questions with clarity and confidence. Let us now move into the main part of the video. What remote employers are actually evaluating beyond your technical skills? Once you understand that remote interviews require a different mindset, the next step is to understand what employers are looking for beneath the surface. Before you begin preparing answers to common interview questions, it is important to understand what remote employers genuinely care about. While your qualifications, certifications, and experience are important, remote employers often place equal or greater emphasis on behavioral qualities that indicate independence and reliability. In a traditional office environment, managers can monitor employees directly and provide immediate clarification when confusion arises. In a remote setting, however, supervisors depend heavily on trust and measurable outcomes. Employers want assurance that you can manage your responsibilities without constant reminders, organize your workload efficiently, and deliver results consistently. They are listening carefully for signs of accountability, initiative, and self-motivation in your responses. When you answer questions about your previous roles, you should intentionally highlight experiences where you took ownership of tasks, solved problems independently, or managed projects with minimal supervision. Instead of describing only what you were assigned to do, explain how you contributed to measurable results. Demonstrating independence through detailed examples reassures employers that you will thrive in a remote environment. With a clear understanding of what employers value, preparation becomes your competitive advantage. Researching the company thoroughly allows you to align your skills and experiences with their specific goals and challenges. One of the strongest indicators of professionalism is preparation. When applying for remote roles, thorough research becomes even more important because employers receive applications from candidates worldwide. Taking the time to understand the company deeply shows that your interest is intentional rather than random. You should explore the company's website carefully and study its mission, values, services, and recent updates. Reviewing their presence on platforms such as LinkedIn can help you understand their leadership team, company culture, and current projects. This knowledge allows you to tailor your responses in a way that aligns your skills with their objectives. For example, if the company emphasizes innovation and digital transformation, you can discuss how your experience has prepared you to contribute in those areas. When you reference specific details about the organization during the interview, you demonstrate initiative and genuine interest. Employers appreciate candidates who understand their goals because it indicates long-term commitment rather than short-term curiosity. Even the most well-prepared candidate can struggle if technical issues disrupt the interview. Because remote interviews rely entirely on digital communication, your technical readiness becomes part of your professional presentation. Most interviews are conducted through platforms such as Zoom, Google Meet, or Microsoft Teams, and employers expect candidates to navigate these systems comfortably. In remote interviews, your technical setup becomes part of your first impression. Most remote interviews are conducted using platforms such as Zoom, Google Meet, or Microsoft Teams. Employers assume that candidates applying for remote roles are comfortable navigating these tools. Before your interview day, you should test your internet connection to ensure stability and adequate speed. You should also verify that your microphone produces clear audio and that your camera provides a sharp image. Background noise should be minimized as much as possible, and your interview space should be quiet and well lit. Natural lighting positioned in front of you is often ideal because it illuminates your face clearly and creates a professional appearance. Technical difficulties can distract from your qualifications and interrupt the flow of conversation. Preparing your equipment in advance demonstrates responsibility and respect for the interviewer's time. It also allows you to enter the interview feeling calm and focused rather than anxious about potential disruptions. How professional appearance and body language influence virtual perception. With your technical setup prepared, attention should shift to your on-camera presentation. Although the interview takes place online, your appearance and body language still communicate powerful messages. Dressing professionally signals that you respect the opportunity and take it seriously. Although remote work offers flexibility, professionalism remains essential. The fact that you are attending an interview from home does not reduce the importance of your appearance or body language. Dressing professionally helps you feel confident and signals that you take the opportunity seriously. When sitting for a video interview, maintain good posture and position your camera at eye level. Looking directly into the camera while speaking creates the impression of eye contact and strengthens your connection with the interviewer. Avoid excessive movements or distractions that might divert attention away from your message. Your tone of voice also plays a significant role in how you are perceived. Speaking clearly and at a moderate pace ensures that your ideas are understood. Remote interviews rely heavily on verbal clarity because visual cues are more limited than in face-to-face interactions. Effective communication is the foundation of remote success. Since remote teams rely heavily on written messages and scheduled meetings, employers prioritize candidates who can express themselves clearly and logically. Effective communication is one of the most critical skills in remote work. Since remote teams rely primarily on written messages and scheduled virtual meetings, employers evaluate how clearly you organize and express your thoughts. When answering behavioral questions, it is helpful to structure your responses in a logical and detailed manner. Instead of giving vague statements about your abilities, describe specific situations, the responsibilities you handled, the actions you took, and the measurable results you achieved. This approach not only demonstrates competence but also reflects organized thinking. Taking a brief pause before responding to complex questions allows you to gather your thoughts and avoid rambling. Structured answers create confidence and convey professionalism. Employers are more likely to trust candidates who articulate their experiences clearly and concisely. In addition to communication skills, remote employers value candidates who understand digital workflows. Remote teams rely on collaboration tools to maintain productivity and alignment. Experience with tools such as Slack, Trello, Asana, and Google Drive demonstrates adaptability and familiarity with modern work systems. Remote teams depend on digital tools for communication, project management, and file sharing. If you have experience using platforms such as Slack for communication, Trello or Asana for organizing tasks, or Google Drive for document collaboration, you should mention this experience naturally during your interview. Familiarity with these tools reduces the learning curve and reassures employers that you can integrate smoothly into their remote systems. Even if your experience with these platforms comes from freelance work or personal projects, it remains relevant. Employers value candidates who are already comfortable navigating digital workflows. How strong time management and self-discipline address employer concerns. One of the most important qualities in remote work is self-discipline. Employers often worry about productivity in remote environments because there is no direct supervision. Addressing this concern proactively strengthens your candidacy. One of the most common concerns about remote employees involves productivity and accountability. Employers want confidence that you will remain focused and disciplined without direct supervision. During your interview, you should explain how you organize your daily schedule, prioritize tasks, and handle deadlines. Describing your personal systems for tracking assignments and maintaining productivity demonstrates intentionality. When you provide specific examples of how you meet deadlines consistently, you reinforce the perception that you are reliable. Remote work often requires balancing flexibility with responsibility. By explaining how you manage distractions and maintain concentration, you address potential concerns proactively and position yourself as a dependable professional. Ask thoughtful questions and follow up at the end of your interview. At the conclusion of the interview, you will likely be invited to ask questions. This moment offers an opportunity to demonstrate strategic thinking. Asking about team collaboration processes, performance expectations, or onboarding procedures shows that you are considering long-term success within the organization. After the interview, sending a thoughtful thank you email within 24 hours reinforces professionalism. Express appreciation for the interviewer's time and briefly restate your enthusiasm for the role. This follow-up leaves a positive impression and distinguishes you from candidates who fail to take this extra step. As we wrap up, securing a remote job requires more than technical expertise. It requires preparation, clarity, discipline, and intentional communication. When you understand the qualities remote employers value and prepare accordingly, you significantly increase your chances of success. Remote work provides access to global opportunities, but it also demands higher levels of responsibility and professionalism. By preparing thoroughly, presenting yourself confidently, and communicating your value clearly, you can stand out in a competitive international job market. I hope this video has provided you with practical insight and a clearer understanding of how to approach remote interviews strategically. If you found value in this content, please like the video, share, and comment your thoughts or questions in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching, and I truly appreciate your time and support. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.